We spoke about the top 3 MVP candidates. Now, I think it's time for us to talk about future MVP candidates. The top 5 under 25 list is Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, LaMelo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum. You guys agree? Disagree? How y'all feeling about this list?
Well, again, I'm here talking about Devin Booker. I believe 100% Devin Booker should be a top 5 player under 25. I believe the list should go as such: Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, LaMelo Ball. I'm gonna have LaMelo at number 3. I know that's very controversial, but then you have Devin Booker, and then this right here is gonna be a surprise to a lot of y'all. I'm gonna have Bam Adebayo. Just that's just my opinion. Now, here's the thing. I think one of the more controversial ones is going to be LaMelo Ball. I think, a lot of people right now on Twitter today was arguing that LaMelo Ball shouldn't necessarily be a top 25 under 25. If we're ranking players under 25 right now, LaMelo Ball is nowhere close to the top 5. But if we're ranking top 25 or top 5 under 25 future, LaMelo Ball is definitely in top 3. LaMelo Ball right now is about 4 or 5 years younger than damn near everybody on this list except Zion Williamson. So because of that, I have to say that LaMelo Ball should definitely be in the top 3. Not only that, just the potential that LaMelo Ball has. I think in the future he definitely has the potential to be an MVP candidate, literally in less than 5 years. But the age of Jason Tatum right now, once LaMelo Ball is that age, I won't be surprised if he's in the MVP talks. It's just going to be that simple. Now, Devin Booker. Again, people have been disrespecting my man's Devin Booker. People need to understand that Devin Booker is literally like a generational type of scorer, just in my opinion. I think because of the, image that he had over the past couple of years, people don't necessarily want to acknowledge what he's done or what he's doing right now, but you just have to acknowledge it. Bam Adebayo, the reason why he's up there is just purely because of defensive purposes. We understand that everybody on this list is a very good scorer, but Bam Adebayo could defend literally 1 through 5 defensively. He could lock down Stephen Curry. He could lock down a player like Joel Embiid. Because of that, he's definitely on this list. What y'all think?
You have to be the craziest guy I know. You mentioned LaMelo Ball. You mentioned Bam Adebayo.
Absolutely.
So here's where your Bam Adebayo argument is just completely flawed. You have him as a top 5 player because of defensive purposes, but what you did not mention is Ben Simmons, who's arguably the best defensive player in the NBA right now. He also guards.
Wait. Here's the thing.
Talk to
Ben Simmons is nowhere close to Bam Adebayo offensively. Bam Adebayo can actually shoot. Bam Adebayo, just like Ben Simmons, could play make. He could run your offense as a point guard. And not only that, again, same defensive abilities, 1 through 5. But just you have offensive ability now. He can actually shoot.
Well, I don't think that Bam Adebayo can run a team as a point guard as effectively well as Ben Simmons can. But that's a different conversation. You mentioned LaMelo Ball. If we're going off potential, I agree. I don't know if I would have him at number 3. He might be like the 4 or 5. But if we're talking about right now, he shouldn't be because he's barely about to win. We're going to win Rookie of the Year over Ant-Man because Ant-Man and LaMelo Ball have very identical stats. Zion Williamson, again, if you talk about right now, I don't even know if I would. Actually, you can't put him at. You could put him at 2 right now. He was an all-star. He's averaging 25. His team is not doing that well. But if you're talking about for the future, I don't know if he has the longevity. I don't know if he has the sustainability to be, top 5. A guy being that heavy with that high of a motor. You knock on wood for the guy, but you don't know if he's going to be able to withhold this level of play that he's going. Now, I think of names like not Donovan Mitchell. Luka Doncic, he should be the unanimous number 1. There's no question about it. I gotta have Jason Tatum in my top 5. Yeah, Jason Tatum is, he's up and down. They got a lot to figure out on that Boston team. But we're talking about the man that banged on King James himself. We're talking about a guy that was basically the face of a historic franchise like the Boston Celtics as a rookie, playing with Kyrie Irving and a guy like Jaylen Brown and Al Horford, and that team was stacked. He was still basically the man on that team. Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker. I don't know how you don't have Devin Booker number 2 when you just made him an MVP candidate. There's no way that the man you have him as a top 2, you probably have him top 1 MVP right now. I'm pretty sure you do, and he's not at least top 2 on the under 25 list. It just doesn't make sense. Donovan Mitchell should be top 5. I mean, it really depends on how you scale it. If you're talking about right now, or if you're talking about potential and future, because then those are 2 different lists. But if I'm going off right now, I gotta go with Luka Doncic. I gotta go with Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Ben Simmons.
But if you're projecting like potential, what will be your top 5?
If I had to go off of potential again, it would be, Luka Doncic would be number 1. I would have LaMelo Ball as second, actually, because that man is just, yeah. So Luka Doncic, LaMelo Ball, Jason Tatum would be my third, because I do think he's going to be better than Devin Booker in the long run. Devin Booker would probably be my number 4. And you can put Bam Adebayo number 5, simply because I don't think Ben Simmons will ever be able to shoot, and I think Bam Adebayo just provides more as a player to a team, as far as being the heart, the soul, the motor, the voice, the leader. There are other things besides your actual on-court skills that classify you as a player.
See, I'm thinking. All right, so my list is a little different. If we're talking about future, that means like the ceiling of that player, like the potential they have.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Luka's staying at number 1.
Of course.
I'm gonna have to put Trae Young at number 2 because he has the potential to be Steph Curry. All right, I'm gonna leave it there so I don't go on a little rant. But I'm gonna put Trae Young at number 2, and another name that I didn't hear you guys say, Brandon Ingram, is under 25. That man is a problem. He is a dog. If he puts on just a little bit more weight, and he's already strapped out, like it happened from one year to another. The man just started hitting threes out of nowhere. He can score anywhere on the court. Defensively, he's getting better and better. The best of Brandon Ingram is yet to come. Now, at number 4, Tyler, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna leave Ben Simmons out because I feel like the best of Ben Simmons we've seen already. He's not going to get much better than
this. Is your potential list?
This is my top 5 for the future.
He's not on my top 5 for
the
future.
Okay. So I got Luka, Trae Young, Brandon Ingram. Mm-hmm. At number 4, I'm gonna have to rock with Rob. I feel like Bam has potential to be Sacramento Bookie times 2. Bro,
relax.
If Bam puts in the work, he's gonna be that guy. All right, and then at number 5, I'm gonna have to throw in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because you guys know as much as I hate to say it, I'm a Thunder fan, and my man, he's coming for the league. He got the league on notice, man.
All right, one of the players that you named was surprising to me was Trae Young. I like the name of Trae Young. The reason why I personally wouldn't necessarily put Trae Young on this list is when we talk about potential, we're talking about what ideally they could possibly be in a perfect scenario. I think in a perfect scenario, Trae Young was never going to be a very good defender. I think in a perfect scenario, he's just going to be an elite offensive and elite scoring option. Everybody on this list has the potential to be a very good scorer. We've seen Lonzo Ball a very good defender. We've seen Lonzo Ball turn into a decent defender, to an elite defender. I think LaMelo could possibly, go up there as well. Luka Doncic, he has the tools. He's basically like 6'8" right now, damn near basically like 250, 260. He has the tools. Bam Adebayo, he has the tools right now. He's already an elite defender. And also, people just have the tools. I just don't think Trae Young is ever going to become a good defender.
You mentioned Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, I understand as an OKC fan, you got to show him some love.
Gotcha.
But, clearly there's a discrepancy in that. Clearly we can't just let that slide.
All right. So realistically, I would take out Shai Gilgeous, and I'm gonna have to throw in Ja Morant. Ja Morant is a dog. He's really young, and if I were to compare him to somebody, I don't know how Rob is gonna feel about this, but I might have to say he's a young D Wade.
I'm not gonna completely disagree with that. I compare him to Russell Westbrook. I think of Russell Westbrook as a severely inefficient version of D Wade. I'll agree with that.
What is with all of this disrespect? We're just throwing D Wade name around like.
Nah, I mean, when you think of smaller guards that's very good slashers, you have to bring up the name of D Wade. Yeah.
I would think of Donovan Mitchell before I think of John Morant. I mean, at least Donovan Mitchell somewhat plays defense.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's true. Yeah.
Rob, what's your list of top 5 future?
No, I gave my top 5 future, which I think y'all was kind of confused about. I wasn't giving my top 5 right now. My top 5 right now. Let me look at the list for a second. I think right now you got to go Luka number 1, Zion number 2, and then I'd have to go Devin Booker number 3, and then let's see. Then I go Brandon Ingram number 4, and then I go Doncic Sabonis number 5.
You're crazy.
What's the problem?
I don't know how the Pelicans can have 2 players top 5 under 25 and be struggling and be this far down in the West.
Defensively,
and
a lot of people on this list not good defensively. Let's put that out there right now. Zion right now isn't a very good defender, and Brandon Ingram right now isn't necessarily a very good defender. I think the team overall isn't necessarily very good defensively. Right now, I think they're arguably statistically the worst team defensively in the league.
But I mean, if you ask me, I would have Bam Adebayo over Brandon Ingram. I mean, as a full package player, as a guy that's going to make a difference off the rip, Bam Adebayo, I just can't see how Brandon Ingram would be over a guy like Bam Adebayo. I'm not even mentioning Donovan Mitchell because you just completely overlooked Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I don't even get that.
See, in my first list, I felt that I was being a little bit too biased by including Bam Adebayo, so I tried to leave him out right here because Panda actually left Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out on his list, so I decided to leave Bam out. But of course, Bam Adebayo, if I'm my list, he'd be number 3. But I tried to leave him out.
And no, but not for nothing. If we talking about these guys are defensive players, et cetera, Trae Young, I would have Trae Young over Brandon Ingram as well, simply because he not only scores, but he also can average 10 assists in his sleep.
But where's this Brandon Ingram? Hold on. Where's this Brandon Ingram disrespect coming from?
Exactly.
What do y'all mean?
What
do y'all mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell us, man. See, the thing about Trae Young right now is that he's having a little bit of an off season, like a slump. Now, obviously, Trae Young, when it comes to slump, isn't necessarily anything too bad. He's still arguably one of the best scorers in the league. But because he's on a little bit of a slump, I want to give my man Brandon Ingram a little bit of love, bro. Just a little bit.
That's a lot of love to give Brandon Ingram. To say that he's over Bam Adebayo and Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell, that's a lot of love.
Bro, I don't really like Donovan Mitchell, though. I think.
Oh, there it is. There's the truth right there.
Here's the thing. I think Donovan Mitchell is a very good player, but I think he's getting a little bit too overrated right now because of his team's success. Again, if the Utah Jazz had the same record, but they were winning because of Donovan Mitchell, he'd get a lot more love from me. But I just don't think he's a lot better this year than he was last year. Put it like that.
Oh, like he's already reached the ceiling. What you're saying?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Oh no, okay.
Definitely not.
Brandon Ingram right now. Look, I'm not off of this. Brandon Ingram is averaging 24, 5, and 5. You're not gonna tell me those names you were naming are better than that.
Give me the shooting percentage,
bro. On the season, 47%.
I'm He's decent.
I don't know.
The problem is defensively, bro. The problem is defensive, bro.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Trae Young might be shooting more efficiently than that. But
we got to look into it.
It's close. A lot of these names are not as far off from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a name that I see it comes up, but we're not too confident in is Jason Tatum. What does he have to do to take his game to the next level where we can say he's one of the elites in the league?
Be consistent.
Be consistent. But to keep it Jason Tatum, in my opinion, coming to the league, I thought he was going to be a very high floor type of guy, but a low ceiling. I think he's going to always be this good. Not necessarily this season. I think earlier last season you could possibly that good. Like right now, he said he's in a little bit of a slump. But I never really thought of Jason Tatum as being like a future MVP. I think he's always going to be a very good player. You kind of compare him to like a Carmelo Anthony. I don't necessarily think he's going to get to that elite level of scoring, but very, very close to that. But he never really eclipsed that. I think if he'd be a good defender, he could potentially eclipse that. But I never really thought of him as being anything too like groundbreaking, anything like that.
I mean, I think I have Jason Tatum on my. I think I have him on both my potential and right now list. So I gave him the love that was appropriate for him. I think he just needs to work on being consistent and really separating himself from Jaylen Brown. It can't be every other game it's your team, it's Jaylen Brown's team, it's your team. If you're gonna be the man, take that leap forward and be the man. Like these other guys that we're naming, besides Brandon Ingram and Zion, because they really share that throne, you have to be the man on your team. So that's all there really is.
And the thing that's going for Jason Tatum, he's 23, averaging 25. I feel like we're gonna see him get a lot better.
Yeah, I have absolutely no doubt there's potentially going to be a season where Jason Tatum averages about 30 points per game. I just don't think he'd be like an MVP candidate. That's just me.
I get it. I mean, and we've seen guys younger than him average 30. You've seen Trae Young average 30 and 10. You've seen Luka average damn near 30-point triple-double. You've seen what Book do, you know. I'm not impressed anymore as a 23-year-old averaging 25. That's not really impressive to me anymore. I expect that, if anything, do more.